So in this video, the bottom line is I'm trying to give you some examples of entries in this video, and I think, and I go back and look at it, I said, you know, I probably made a mountain out of a molehill here. What I really am trying to point out here is, you know, we're looking at project codes and equity codes. The only time you allocate an equity code is if the account name is owner equity. Basically, that's the bottom line. If it's some other account name, you do not allocate it to an equity code. All right, so you'll see with all of these examples that you're going to see, even if you shut me out, you know, you turn your volume off, you're going to see that the only time you're coding equity is when the actual account name goes to owner equity. So I'm going to do a real summary here and then let you go through and get confused by the remainder of the video. But if you watch it, just realize how that equity number changes if you make a mistake. All right, so so if you look at entries I've got here, which we're going to go through during the follow-up here, you'll see here in the cash journal I've got cash coming in. The account name is owner equity, so we can code that as owner equity. I have general journal entries here in the general journal, and you'll see here the only time we're coding equity is if the account name is owner equity. And that is the easiest way to explain it. Even though we're dealing with putting an asset into the, putting an asset in this case, for furniture, you don't code it as owner equity until you get to the owner equity account name. And the same here, where the guy decides to take it back, you don't count it as owner equity or take it away from owner equity unless the actual account name that you're charging it to is owner equity. So everything else, you can use the project code because it's something coming in, something going out, but the same with the equity code, only when you're dealing with owner equity coming in or owner equity going out. Okay, so that's the easiest way to explain it. I'm gonna say that is the easiest way to explain it, and you'll see what happens in some of the video here that I've got for you. So best of luck. If I confuse you in the following video, I'm sorry, but come back to this beginning, which is a little more than 3.5 minutes, and it basically that's the answer. Anything dealing with cash is definitely in the cash journal. Anything dealing with an injection of equity from, let's say, furniture or equipment that you want to allocate to a particular individual, you do it this way. If they're adding to the business, you only give them an equity code as a credit. Okay, if they're taking away from the business, then it's okay to give them an equity code only in the debit side. So let's take this away. Let's say the next entry we do is, again, 100 Main, and Joe decides he's going to do 100 Main. He's going to take the furniture away. Then here's what we're doing. All right, Slip Joe, you want to take it away? We're going to take away your $2,000 of equity. and then we've got to get a $2,000 out of furniture because he took it back. Okay, so notice here we did the reverse. We said, all right, you're taking back your furniture, then we're going to take it out of your equity account. And it's coming out of 100 Main Street, both on the equity side and on the furniture side. Okay, so we don't need to code where we're showing an actual account other than owner equity. When we're making owner equity entries, we don't want to put the equity code in unless the account name is owner equity. I think that's the best way to explain it. If you are dealing with owner equity, put the code in the general journal. If you're not dealing with owner equity, just put in the project and not hit the equity code. Okay, so because we have to do two entries, one of them is always going to be in situations where dealing with equity, one of them is always going to be owner equity. That's when you put the equity code in, and you could put project code in. If it's just dealing with a different account name, whether it's furniture or cash, you do not put an equity code in because it's not an owner equity entry. Okay, I guess that's the easiest way to explain it. So in the beginning, I alluded to confusing you with a variety of entries and stuff, which I ended up going back and deleting virtually all of that because I do think it was confusing. I wanted to show you if you wrongly coded an equity code in an account that was not an account name owner equity, how it was going to screw up the guy's equity, how it could screw up your project balances. So it just was, I was going crazy with it. So I deleted all of that. And again, the bottom line is you only code using an equity code when the account name that you are honing in on, that you are using in the drop down, is owner equity, because that will now allow you to allocate that equity to a particular individual and not just a general equity account. Okay, owner equity, equity code. Furniture, equipment, accounting fees, no, it's not owner equity. You don't touch the equity code. All right, guys, the cash journal makes it a lot easier because you could do two things in one line. If it goes to owner equity, it's fine, 100 Main Street, and then equity code could be whoever the code goes to. All right, so I think that is a better way of explaining it. And questions, you can always shoot me an email first, and I'll try to resolve it.